Got it.
Got it. All right. You can go ahead and do your thing, Aaron. Ask your questions.
I'm just waiting for the live to pop up that way. All right, my audio is off. I can monitor the stream. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back again with another interview for the Philly Files 2. Tonight we have Desert Eagle. If you want to go ahead and give the chat your socials, be my guest.
What's going on, guys? You already know what it is. For those that don't know, I am DesertEagle90, and I'm on here with the Oh man! First of all, it's these guys. First of all, thank you guys for having me on. Okay, thank you guys for having me on, and I've it's crazy. It's really crazy, man. I've been wanting to admire you guys' hard work for what y'all did, and y'all won video on RPF. That was crazy. It really entertained my whole shift when I first seen it. But I'm Desert Eagle 90, a diehard Eagles fan. You know, I make Eagles content. And first of all, thank you guys for having me on.
No problem, man. Hey, we really appreciate the compliment. It is bizarre being at this situation, how the documentary brought us to this. It's insane. But I guess to start, we have a few questions. I guess we'll just start at the beginning. Where did your relationship with RPF begin?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't know how it started between me and RPF, but I will say this. How I found him was back in 2017, Eagles Super Bowl year. It was Eagles versus Cowboys, and a Cowboys fan who's no longer around, but he was just it was one of those things when Eagles and Cowboy fans go back and forth. And for those that don't know, the guy's name is D-Town. Shout out to him, by the way. But he was just talking mad shit about Eagles fans. It was me. It was just Eagles fans in general. RPF was one of them. It's quite a funny story, but RPF, in his usual crazy, threats and everything, was that. Eagles Chance was another one. AKA, or RPF calls him Kimmy, was another one. That's how I found both of them. But that's a good question. I mean, that's how I saw RPF though. But then as time went by, I started seeing RPF's videos, and he was commenting on my videos, and it was positive for the first part, and I was watching RPS videos, and he actually, despite the crazy things he says, he does have some knowledge of the team without a doubt. But yeah, but for starters, I guess it just, as time went by, we eventually just started interacting pretty much.
Alrighty. So next question is, put in some context here. It was Joey Shakes. He said that Philly 500 is the king of Eagles YouTube. Would you agree?
I mean, I could say I'm the king. No, but Philly 500 definitely deserves it. He's definitely a hard worker. He's definitely come a long way. Before, he had I don't remember when I first subscribed to him. I think he had maybe 2,000 or 3,000 subs. But he always had this, I don't know, this panic. He always panic during Eagles Super Bowl year, always criticizing Howie Roseman, criticizing the team. And I was not a fan of it at first, but I was like, you know what? I really like Philly 500. He's very entertaining. He's very creative. You can tell he puts a lot of hard work into his content. He's very interactive with Eagles fans and just his subscribers, period. Even when other critics out there that talks trash to him or talks about the team, he still interacts with them professionally. So I would definitely give it to him, especially being as though that he's definitely earned every subscriber on his channel. So yeah, I put him up there as the king without a doubt. I put him up there.
Sweet. All right. So let's get into, I guess we'll start with some of the good details here. What was your inspiration for the push-up challenge?
That's a good question. it's the inspiration of me doing a push-up challenge. When I joined the trucking business about October of 2019, no, it was about October of 2019. I was following like two channels. One name is Binks Trucking Fitness, something like that. It was him and another YouTube vid maker named Dirty Broke 215, who's another Eagles fan, but does a lot of trucking content as well. Every week, or I'm sorry, every month, there would always be like challenges where you got to do day one push-ups, jumping jacks, or such and such, day two, pretty much for 30 days a month, 30 or 31 days a month. It would always be like sets just to get everybody, especially truckers, in shape. So that's what inspired me to start doing that on my channel, my backup channel, to say the least.
Oh, that's interesting. I had no idea about any of that. So, all right, I guess we'll go to the next one.
Mhm.
When Joey Shakes and Philly Jim had their stream and they were calling out RPF, telling them to come in, did you think that maybe RPF would join their stream?
RPF is pretty I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. You would think so, because the way, as big as RPF was talking, especially to Philly Jim, I mean, you would expect him to, and I don't think RPF is a coward or, just any of that, but you would think he would jump into their live stream with everything he's been saying on his video at that time when they had problems. So you would think they would join, just talk it out there. But when I made my video, I was trying to poke RPF to join the live stream. That's what I was trying to do at the time. But to my surprise, I'm surprised he didn't join that live stream. I wanted him to, though.
That video is actually like hilarious, man. Like the one that gets me is when you're talking about the it was the don't forget the pickles, and you're like, don't forget the pickles.
Yeah, that one. That one I got to give credit to Philly Jim. He came up with that one. That was funny. Bubble bass.
So what was your thought process on the parody video for RPF doing the actual push-up challenge?
What was my thought when I did it, or when Philly Jim did it? You mean when I did it?
Yeah, I guess when you did it.
When I did it, everything was just right off the mind. I didn't think it was going to be that funny, but well, there was quite a story behind that. It was either I make fun of RPF, because this happened after the time when he actually threatened me. And another vid maker named PR52. He made personal insult to his wife, and I don't want to get too much into detail there, but and then he made a insult to me after I've put up a funny boxing clip of him and RPF boxing, and RPF hit him in one punch, and he didn't take that very well. So at the time I got really mad to where I was going to actually go to RPF, because really Park is actually, not far from me at all. It was either that or I'll just clown him when I made that video and just, and leave it at that. So happy I chose that option. So, but I think it was very fun. It was funny and all. A lot of people thought it was hilarious, and a very few didn't think it was, think I was wrong for that.
That actually leads me into my next question. Do you think that the boxing video was going to garner the reaction that RPF eventually had with the knife? And then what are you on that?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I think that was going to hit him. I was thinking, I thought he would have saw it right away, but that actually, trying to remember, it took him a while to actually see that video, but I was expecting a negative reaction the way he did, though. We wasn't really on best terms at the time, but I was expecting that.
Now, do you find it strange that, now RPF is saying, you're one of the best Eagles YouTubers when before you guys, he didn't really take fondly to some of the antics that were thrown his way. Do you find that like strange at all that, he just switches that perspective?
That's kind of a thing that goes on YouTube, honestly. When you're in people's how do you say how do I say it? Let's say if you're friends with someone, there are people that will say that, but then, if you're on their bad side, they would say you're the worst. Or, I mean, I don't say that about RPF. I do more so believe RPF does think I'm an amazing vid maker, but I never really see myself as that. I'm just humble. I just come here to have fun and everything. What he says about me, I think very highly of Joey Shakes. I think very highly of PR52, Philly 500, without a doubt, and Laura Brunson, the list goes on. But RPF, he does have listings of Eagles fans that he really enjoys watching, and it's good for me to be one of them, because if there are vid makers he don't like, he will call them out. I'm just happy I'm not on that list.
That actually brings me into my well, I guess we'll get into that then, but right now I want to ask you your thoughts on the overall PR52 situation, like the Fox threat, quote unquote, the just everything that went down.
Honestly, I like Fox. I think Fox is a good person. I think Fox was a good person. When he made his videos, the song requests and everything, I would always tune in and watch it. However, with the situation with him in PR52, I didn't like that at all. I was completely against what Fox did. And I've been subscribed to PR52 ever since, like, I first officially started, I'm going to say around 2008 or 2009. He was Power Rangers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the time. He was diehard Power Rangers fan. But so I followed PR over 10 years to know that he's not that kind of person. People have made so many crazy, insults and death threats and everything. He just, okay. He's been very professional. But to Fox situation, I went straight to Fox and I told Fox, look, if you're not going to present the evidence that PR said this and that about you, you can't be saying stuff like that. And I told him I personally have a problem with that. So I was 100% back in PR for that.
Yeah, I don't think there was any evidence that eventually even came out. So it's a very strange situation. PR actually talked about it in the last stream. Yeah, it's quite bizarre. So I guess we'll get on to some of the basic general questions here. Mm-hmm. Do you think, I guess this is relevant to RPF's current videos that he's been posting, which, I mean, I have my take on, but I'm interested in yours. Do you think he's actually changed, like he said? He went from saying like he wants to, and I guess it was because of all the COVID stuff, he wants to be a better person, change for the better, and now he's back what it seems to be like making these rant videos towards people saying really messed up stuff. What are your thoughts on that?
As far as PR 52 or I'm sorry, PR 52 or ranting?
Just ranting, just in general, like, has he changed his character from what he was to what he is now?
There are times where Rand has been very positive, pretty calm, but there has also been situations where when it has something to do with the Sixers or sports, you can see that he's been going back to his old self. And I keep telling him, like, I feel like sports just take a huge toll on his life, for real. And I wouldn't want that for him. There are times you would feel like the worst could happen, but I always want to wish better for Rain, and I always want to wish better for him. And but I'm going to say 50-50. He's been more positive, but when it comes to like Eagles champs or Philadelphia sports, making, decisions that he doesn't agree with, I wouldn't, you would see that he's on a verge of going back to his old self. He's made some crazy death threats, and I always comment on there like SMH or just emojis, and he just always explains himself. I'm 50-50. I'm gonna say that. I'm 50-50.
Yeah, I brought that up because I saw your recent comment on his video where you said sigh, and he just kind of like, well, if this stuff happens, I'm going to defend myself, which I think, there's a certain line to be crossed there, but I guess I'll get into that on my part. But is RPF a good or a bad definition of a passionate Eagles YouTuber?
RPF is he is actually how Eagles fan, I don't want to say this in a way to insult RPF, but he is actually the example of what people in general hate about Eagles fans. When people say a lot of crazy stuff, if you do something like, let's say, the Vikings fans or so he call it purple freaks, put graffiti on a Rocky statue. Everything you do, that's Eagles fans, period, in general. RPF is what you call an old school Eagles fan. So yeah, all the anger and everything. Yeah, you can say that's Eagles fans. So I'm going to say he's a good example of what people hate about Eagles fans. Let's just say that. He's got some good passion. He's got some good passion. I like that though. But yeah.
I haven't heard that yet. Like, I guess he is. He's definitely, he embodies that type of mindset. It's interesting. Do you have any personal experiences with Ryan Kimball?
I have never met Ryan Kimball in person. As a matter of fact, no, to be honest with you, Ryan Kimball has actually been growing. I wasn't a fan of him, a couple years ago, especially, how he was. I mean, then I keep having to remind myself he's a kid, but I didn't like how, he would always think he's above everybody and question a lot of people, because there are times I felt insulted. So I had to remind him, like, stay in your lane, back off a bit, but I think he's a good kid. A few things he could, work on, but overall he's a good kid, but I never met him in person before though. Never.
Gotcha. So he has had his moments where he calls out people and stuff, as has RPF. So would you think that there are more similarities than there are differences between them, because they too seem to think they're so different from each other?
I don't even know how to explain that, to be honest with you. Similarities. Wow. I don't, that's a tough one, to be honest with you. I'm not going to say there's similarities, but they both have common issues, or I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one to answer, to be honest with you. It's very hard to explain that. They're both pretty interesting in their drama. They're both pretty interesting, very unpredictable at that.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's understandable. They are both quite out there. They're very unpredictable.
Yeah.
So as of recent, there was a whole rumor that went around that RPF had apparently died. What was your reaction to when that all came out?
It's like, it hit me for the moment, to be honest with you, because we see what we see on YouTube, but in the end, when we're talking about personal life, humanity and everything, it hits, but I didn't think RPF was dead. I'm sure it would have been known. I mean, I found out you can actually research, like, death certificates and everything, but that's out of the picture, but I didn't think he died. Probably just just taking time off of the internet. He definitely needed time off the internet, what he was doing, going through and everything. But I didn't think he was dead because when he mentioned his past a couple of times, and he's still alive today, despite everything he's been through. I know for a fact he could handle whatever, but I'm sure it's just something we deal with on YouTube. Just trolls always faking deaths and spreading false rumors and everything. So I was like, I'll believe it when it's evidence there. So I didn't think he was dead.
Yeah, that was one of the first things that I looked into. I looked into the obituary and stuff.
Yeah.
And like you said, he has had a lot of rough spots in his life, and he's very open about it. So, which leads me into my next question. What was your reaction to him being open about his girlfriend and then eventually her death afterwards?
Well, first off, I do want to send my condolences, my prayers out to RPF for that. I could never just imagine, or I don't know how I would have taken it, but I feel like he's taking it a lot stronger than I will. That's for sure. It must be rough. I mean, he looks like he's holding himself. He's keeping the head up pretty strong for that. But I didn't know about that until he came back, which is maybe about a couple months ago. But I felt for him. I can't just, I don't know how I would act today if I was in that situation. So that's what I'm saying. He's handling a lot better than I am.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I was shocked when I heard about it. Like,
Yeah,
it was a great thing for him. I think to have a girlfriend at the time, but then when it was kind of crushing when it all came down.
yeah.
It was really a shocker. So I think I have only like 2 questions left.
Okay.
Is the hate for Ben Simmons justified in your opinion?
You said the hatred?
Yeah, that the fans are giving him. I mean, right now there's a whole trade going on. I guess it's just because of all the moves that he's been given and stuff. Do you think the fans' outlash towards him is semi-justified?
It's all it's just something that happens, Ben Simmons is getting the hatred today because he struggled, and that's how it is in Philly. If you play really bad, you're going to feel Philly fans' wrath. If he knew how to jump, if he knew how to shoot, he played a whole lot better, he would be worshipped. That's just how it is. If you play good, you get worship. If you play really bad, you're going to get a whole lot of backlash. That's just what it is. That's just typical Philly fashion. So I'm not really surprised. Now there are people that's wishing death on Ben Simmons. I think that's going too far, but I don't know. We can say he's part of the reason why the Sixers season ended like that, but I think there's more than that. Coaching, the team overall, benching and everything. It's not just Ben Simmons, but I've known Philly fans, they can overreact at times. That's pretty much all I can say.
So to wrap things up, is there anything to the overall arc of RPF that we may have missed, or anything you would like to add to the overall situation?
I think you guys been on top of everything as far as tuning into RPF and everything. I'm just going to say this. I just, how do you say? I did actually offer RPF to go to a game because I don't think he's ever been to one as of recently. It was in one of his old live streams. One day I was going to pick him up, I was going to get him a ticket. We was going to go into a game together, get experience to see Mighty E-Rock's tailgate, just get him involved in, being around Eagles fans. Cause it just going to a tailgate is like a temporary escape from reality. You just be stressing and just go through everything. But when it's game day, we got a tailgate, you just everything is just cloudy. You're just having so much fun. But then when it's all over, you're back home, and that's what it is. But I wanted to get at the time, back when I wasn't so busy and I had so much free money and everything, before I had a kid. Yeah, I actually offered RPF a ticket though to go to a game. I did though. I offered him a ride. He didn't have to pay for anything, so I actually have done that. That was one thing. Secondly, I know we've all been seeing how he acts, wishing death threats, wishing COVID on people, and wishing death on people's parents and everything. Y'all do see my comments and everything, or face palm, or stuff like that. I don't support that. There are times I wish he could stop, but that's RPF for you. And all I'm gonna do is just stay in my lane. Hopefully, eventually things get better. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say there.
Yeah, man. If he would have taken you up on that offer, that would have been crazy. Like that would have been awesome. I hope that someday he does. Like that would be a wild experience. But yeah, that's pretty much all we have. I'd like to say thank you so much for coming on and answering some questions. We really, really do appreciate it. So if you wanna give your socials out again, be my guest. But that's pretty much all we have.
Say what was that last one? I'm sorry.
If you want to give out your socials again for the people who are in, be my guest.
Oh, yeah, you can subscribe to me on my YouTube channel at DesertEagle90. It's right there at DesertEagle90. Also my Twitter is DesertEagle90. I talk sports. I talk just about random things. Anybody ever want to chat or conversation, whatever, you can always find me there pretty much. But and as for you guys, thank you so much for having me on. I know we were long overdue, but I'm just happy I'm finally here, to chop with you guys. But thanks for having me on though.
Yeah, no problem, man. It was a pleasure. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I don't know if Mitch has anything to add. Mitch?
No, I dropped this channel link in the comment chain. I finally realized I could do that. I forgot that you could even drop a link. Some channels have a customized where you can't drop links in the live chat, but we can do it obviously on ours.
All right.
So yeah,
cool.
I'm going to start doing that for. Yeah, and I shared it on Snap and all that stuff. I was trying to share it on every social media platform possible. Get the word out there.
But yeah, Desert Eagle. That pretty much wraps everything up. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, man. We're gonna end the stream here, Mitch.